ọlọ́jẹ́ kí ọ̀rọ̀ wa kó máa já sọ́pẹ́, kó máa já sídùn, kó máa já sí rere. Abẹ́lọ́wọ̀n ọmọ àlá tó fún wa ní yọ̀ǹda láti pàdé níbi ìgbà ní àárọ̀ yìí láti ṣètò tí a fẹ́ ṣe yìí. Kọ́lọ́ má ṣe ní ìbàdàgbà àbúrú wa, àfàànú ẹ̀fẹ̀, àbàbàrà ẹ̀fẹ̀. Kọ́lọ́ bá akẹ́ àdúgbò Muhammad. Ọlọ́ àlùsàn náà ni ọ̀gá wa, olùkọ́ wa, olùkọ́ àgbà, aṣíwájú eré tó fi ọ̀nà ọmọ ọ̀hún wa gẹ́gẹ́ bọ́lá ti fẹ́. Òun náà ládẹ́ máa tẹ̀lé wà lọ́nà ọ̀pọ̀ ẹni tí bá tẹ̀lé. Àti ní àtẹ̀yìn ọlọ́máyọ wálé lọ́wọ́ àjẹ́nà lọ́nà káwọ́dà ọ̀pọ̀ta ìgbà ìgbà. Ètò tí a fẹ́ ṣe yìí ni tí àgbáríjọ àwọn mùsùlùmí ní Ogun State tí wọ́n gbé kalẹ̀ láti apá àwọn bàbá wa tí wọ́n jẹ́ ìmọ̀ gbogbo wọn ní Ogun State. Ogun State wa tó ní ìpínsí ọ̀nà mẹ́rin lọ́wọ́ Ẹ̀gbá, Yewa, Rẹ́mọ àti Ìjẹ̀bú. Bẹ́ẹ̀ la ní àwọn bàbá wa àgbà tí wọ́n wà ní pápá àwọn tó mẹ́rin tí wọ́n lè papọ̀ jẹ́ ọ̀kan nínú àṣẹ èrò àti bí wọ́n ti ń darí wa. Wọ́n fi àṣẹ wọn sí ẹnu bàbá wa àgbà tí wọ́n jẹ́ President General. Bàbá wa àṣẹ Imams tí wọ́n fi lè sáà ní wá sí. Ìjọba láti wà ní ètò yìí. Àwọn àgbàlagbà wa ìjókòó láti àárọ̀ ìrọ̀lẹ́ láti ìjọ mẹ́ta ó ṣe é ṣe wà ń retí wọn pẹ̀lú ọlọ́run. Débi pẹ̀lú dáadáa àwọn ni wọ́n ń ṣe ìgbàlálejò yìí, àwọn ni wọ́n ṣe agbátẹrù ètò yìí. Nínú họ́ọ̀lù yìí a ní àwọn tí wọ́n jẹ́ ìsọ̀rí ní gbogbo àwọn muslim organizations tó wà lórí state. A lè gbé gbogbo mùsùlùmí wá síbí lórí ó máa rí bákan. Ṣàwá ní àwọn representative gbogbo àwọn ọ̀rẹ́sìpẹ́lì kọ̀ọ̀kan tó wà ní àwọn olùkọ́ yẹn ní tẹ́lẹ̀ kọ̀ọ̀kan represent àti wọ́n wà ní ọmọ ìkọlù. Wọ́n láti gba alálejò lónìí, bàbá wa àgbà tí wọ́n wà níkàlẹ̀ láti máa ṣojú àwọn bàbá mẹ́rẹ̀ẹ́rin tó kù lọ. Wọ́n náà ní lásìkò bàbá wa ṣe Al-Imam àbúkọ́rin ìdílé tí wọ́n jẹ́ ìmọ̀ gbogbo àkìlẹ̀ rẹ̀ mọ̀. Bàbá, wọ́n kí ọ wá ní Ashim sir. So wọ́n represent gbogbo àwọn bàbá mẹ́rẹ̀ẹ̀rin tó kù tí wọ́n bá ti dé a máa fi wọ́n hàn. Àwọn ni wọ́n gbà ẹ̀ lálejò. A tó tẹ̀síwájú ẹ̀jẹ̀ ká gbókò fún orílẹ̀-èdè wa nípa bádìlé dúró àpọ̀ national anthem. Thank you. Kí a tó jókòó kí a fi àdúrà bẹ̀rẹ̀ kí bàbá wa Imam Àṣàyè kan bá mi fetí kan bàbá wa àgbà tí Akilẹ̀ Rẹ́mọ létí láti ṣàdúrà fún wa láti bẹ̀rẹ̀. Bàbá Imam Àṣàyè please.
Sallu ala nabiyil karimi. Lẹ́nu bàbá wa Grand Chief Imam gbogbo Rẹ́mọ Fadilat Sheikh bàbá wa Junaid wọ́n kí àlejò wa káàbọ̀ sí ibi pé interactive section láti mọ àwọn mission àti vision wọn fún Ogun State. Ọlọ́mọṣàbà dúró tì yín. Wọ́n kí gbogbo àwọn panelists àti gbogbo àwọn entourages tí ẹjọ́ wá àti chairman. Ọlọ́run kó ṣàánú ẹnì kọ̀ọ̀kan wa àti gbogbo àná tá jókòó. Al-Fatiha. Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Alhamdulillahi rabbil alamin. Ar-Rahmanirrahim. Maliki yawmiddin. Iyyaka na'budu wa iyyaka nasta'in. Ihdina siratal mustaqim. Siratal ladzina an'amta alaihim غير المغضوب عليهم ولا الضالين آمين.
Jazakumullahu khairan. Ẹ jẹ́ ká jókòó. Ẹ ṣé. Gẹ́gẹ́ bí mo sọ láti bẹ̀rẹ̀, olórí àgbàlejò àti agbátẹrù gbogbo ètò yìí náà ni àwọn bàbá wa ní League of Imams and Alfas tí àwọn bàbá wa mẹ́rẹ̀ẹ̀rin tí wọ́n ń léwájú fún. Kí Ọlọ́run bá wa dẹ́mi àwọn bàbá wa sí, kọ́lọ́jẹ́ kí wọ́n túbọ̀ pẹ́ fún wa. Ní kàlẹ́ńbí bàbá wa tí wọ́n ń ṣojú wọn lọ́wọ́lọ́wọ́ báyìí, bàbá wa Imam Akilẹ̀ Rẹ́mọ ni. Ẹni tí ó jókòó tì yín sà, Your Excellency, ẹni tí ó jókòó tó ń wò yín lọ́ọ̀kan, wọ́n ní bàbá wa tí wọ́n jẹ́ Dr. Taofik Salisu, former Librarian, Federal University of Agriculture, Abeokuta. Àwọn panelists wa wọ́n ti wà níkàlẹ̀ láti béèrè àwọn ìbéèrè láti fi kún olùkùn pẹ̀lú yín. Àwọn ní àkọ́kọ́ lára wọn náà ni ẹni àkọ́kọ́ náà wọn tí wọ́n wà níbí báyìí náà ni Professor Abdulwahid Wale Salau, Professor of Horticulture from Federal University of Agriculture, Funab. Ẹ káàbọ̀. Wa alaikum salam wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. Ẹni tó tẹ̀lé wọn lọ́kùnrin bẹ́ẹ̀ náà ni brother wa Barrister Abdulgani Talib Somotun, Integrity Chambers. Wa alaikum salam wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. Obìnrin tó wà láàrin wọn ni obìnrin bí ọkùnrin, a professor to be very soon inshallah. But for now, Dr. Mrs. Adefunke Fadilat Ayinde. Ẹ káàbọ̀. Alaikum salam wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. Dr. T.M. Salisu ni chairman session yìí bí mo ṣe introduce. Láàrin wa níbí báyìí àníkàlẹ̀ àwọn bàbá wa Imam Akilẹ̀ Ìkẹ́nẹ́ wà níkàlẹ̀, bàbá wa Imam Aṣáyè, bẹ́ẹ̀ náà ni bàbá Imam Aṣáyè ti Makun, bàbá wa Imam Hussein Kẹ́hìndé ti Rẹ́mọ, bẹ́ẹ̀ ni wọ́n pọ̀ láàrin wa. Ẹnìkankan tẹ́ rí ń bí orí tí wọ́n represent ó pọ̀ rẹpẹtẹ, àárí tí àwọn bàbá wa tó kù láti join wa. Láti ọ̀dọ̀ yín tẹ́ wá bá wa lálejò, a mọ̀ wípé àti rí ẹ̀yin àdẹ̀tí rí deputy governor by protocol. Ṣé ẹ̀yin ní kí n kọ́kọ́ sọ àbí deputy governor? Ẹ̀yin ni màá kọ́ sọ ẹ̀kọ́ lọ sọ mi ìfẹ́ kí n má gbé protocol ṣubú. Mo mọ̀ pé adíje dupò láti Labour Party ní ọ̀jọ̀gbọ́n tí wọ́n wà níkàlẹ̀, mo dẹ̀ mọ̀ pé His Excellency Kehinde Sogunle ni wọ́n wà níwájú wa láti bá wa sọ̀rọ̀. Other introduction ẹ sọ fún wa tí ẹ bá ń bá wa sọ̀rọ̀, à ń wo àsìkò torí pé àti èkó yẹn ti gbé múlẹ̀ra wọn púpọ̀. A kí káàbọ̀ sí ìdí ètò yìí. Bẹ́ẹ̀ ni la kí ìyá wa tí wọ́n jẹ́ oníṣègùn òyìnbó, sister wa Aisha Lawal, akẹ́yìn náà káàbọ̀ sí ìdí ètò yìí. Kí Ọlọ́run. Wa alaikum salam wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. Bá ṣe máa ṣètò yìí ni pé chairman wa máa bá wa sọ̀rọ̀ briefly nsìn nípa bẹ́tò ìṣòrí àti nǹkan tí a fẹ́ mú jáde ń díẹ̀. Lẹ́yìn yẹn a máa play video clip láti jẹ́ kẹ́ mọ̀ bí a ṣe rí ìpínlẹ̀ yìí sí, ohun tí a ti rò kó yẹ kó ṣeé ṣe àti ìrètí wa ní fún ìlọsíwájú Ogun State. Tá a bá wo clip yìí délẹ̀, ẹ ní opportunity láti sọ̀rọ̀ pàápàá ní tẹ̀lé pẹ̀lú àwọn ìbéèrè tí àwọn panelists máa bi wá léèrè, kí bẹ́tò yìí ṣe máa lọ nìyẹn. Nísìnyí kí chairman wa kí wọ́n bá wa sọ̀rọ̀ ká lè bẹ̀rẹ̀ ètò yìí. Ó yá sà.
أعوذ بالله السميع العليم من الشيطان الرجيم بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم الحمد لله الحمد لله الحمد لله رب العالمين والصلاة والسلام على أشرف المرسلين سيدنا مولانا محمد وعلى آله وصحبه أجمعين. adúpẹ́ lọ́wọ́ Ọlọ́run ọba àlékè ọlá, ọba àwọn ọba, ọba tí ń fi ọba jẹ ọba tí ń rọba lóyè ọba ṣẹ̀dá tẹ́nìkankan ò dá ọba àná ọba òní ọba ọ̀la ọba ayérayé gbogbo ohun tó wù tí ẹ̀dá lè dàníyàn ẹ̀ ọlọ́run ọba ló lè ní kó ṣẹ ayìyàn ológo aṣàfọ̀mọ́ fún ọlọ́run ọba pé kò sí ọba tó tó sí àyàfi rẹ̀ Allah a sì wá gbọ́kànlé ẹ nítorí àwa Yorùbá náà tẹ̀ máa ń sọ pé ẹni tó bá gbọ́kàn lọ́lọ́run kò ní jogún òfo ọlọ́run má jà á pòfo ètò táwa ṣe lénìí tó ti bẹ̀rẹ̀ láti ìjẹta òun ni pé àṣẹ̀ṣẹ̀ ṣe àwa wò pé lọ́dún yìí náà àsìkò yìí náà tá a fẹ́ dìbò ká tuntun ṣe àwọn bàbá wa nínú Islam tá a máa ń pè ní Rabita League of Imams and Alfas ní gbogbo ìpínlẹ̀ wa àwa ní pé ipò tí àwọn náà wà ó yẹ kí a mọ ohun tí àwọn tó ń fẹ́ díje gba ipò gómìnà ní ìpínlẹ̀ wa ń bì ká tiẹ̀ pé wọ́n ká fikùn lukùn ká jọ sọ̀rọ̀ wọ́n wá là wá lọ́yẹ̀ wọ́n sọ fún wa kí ni àníyàn tán ní kí náà gbé sọ́kàn láti ṣe ilé ń ṣe ọ̀rọ̀ ká sọ ìbò rẹpẹtẹ action kí lẹ fẹ́ ṣe fún wa ń tẹ́tẹ̀ fẹ́ ṣe ní pé ẹni tá a fẹ́ kó ṣẹlẹ̀ ní pé kẹ máa rántí pé ń tẹ́ bá sọ fún wa báyìí òun ni àwa mùsùlùmí pè ní àmọ́ náà pé ẹ jẹ́jẹ́ ẹ ṣèlérí tí wọn bá sì ṣèlérí tó jẹ́jẹ́ tí ò bá múṣẹ ẹ̀ṣẹ̀ ńlá ni lọ́dọ̀ Ọlọ́run ọba Allah àdúrà ní pé ẹ̀jẹ̀ tẹ́ fẹ́ jẹ́ ìlérí tẹ́ fẹ́ ṣe Ọlọ́run kó ṣe nírọ̀rùn fún yín láti mú wọn ṣẹ. Nàìjíríà wa yìí àwọn tí wọ́n kéré díẹ̀ sí wa báyìí wọn ò rí nǹkan tó pọ̀ ṣùgbọ́n àwọn tó tún ju àwa lọ ń bì wọ́n ti rí oríṣiríṣi bí Nàìjíríà ṣe ń dùn tó ń dán nígbà tí wọ́n ń gbòòyà ó ń lọ ẹnìkan fi ìwé ránṣẹ́ sí mi lórí ẹ̀rọ ayélujára ó wá sọ gbogbo bí Nàìjíríà ṣe bẹ̀rẹ̀ bó ṣe ń lọ ọ̀rọ̀ Nàìjíríà wá dàbí ìyá àjẹ́ kàkà kó sàn fún ìyá àjẹ́ kí ló ń ṣe ó ń fi gbogbo ọmọ ẹ̀ ó ń fi bóbìnrin tó ṣe bí òwe o ó ń fi bí obìnrin ní àwọn ìgbà tí ẹnìyẹn kọ bí Nàìjíríà ṣe rí bó ṣe rí ó wá sọ sísàlẹ̀ ó wá ní kò sọ pé oṣó láṣẹ o ó béèrè ń bẹ̀ pé ta láṣẹ ta ni Nàìjíríà ṣẹ kò sẹ́ tó rí dáhùn ẹ̀ ìkan náà ọmọ mi in fact my first child daughter mi ó wá reply ó ní dádì Nàìjíríà ti ṣayé and that is the problem with her àdẹ̀ṣe ayé ara wa láṣẹ àwọn tí a fi sípò iṣẹ́ ta ní kan ṣe wọn ò ṣe ìmọ̀tara ẹni nìkan bámbám la yó àwa ọmọ bóyá ebi ń pọmọ ẹnìkan kan ẹni àmọ̀rí ìbá òkú kámọ̀rí fúnra rẹ̀ gan kó kú kí ló kàn wọ́n òun ni ṣùgbọ́n Yorùbá bọ̀ wọ́n ní pé a lọ òkun a lọ ọ̀sà àti bọ̀tán gbogbo ẹ̀ kí ni wá ni o mo dogún mo dọ́gbọ̀n mo ṣe kíní kí ló máa gbẹ̀yìn ẹ̀ ẹsẹ̀ mélòó ẹnìkan tí ẹ wá ń ṣe yẹ̀yẹ́ ó ní àwọn tó ń gbẹ́ bẹ́rì yẹn wọ́n lè save space wọ́n bá rí pé ẹni tó ń gbé bọ̀ kò ju bí 4 feet 6 inches ó lè má tọ́sẹ̀ mẹ́fà gan á kàn ọ̀rá gbẹ kó ti wọ̀ tó kí là ń bá ká tó yára sọ pé kí àwọn gómìnà wa kàn wọlé bọ̀ yìí wọ́n wá sọ fún wa ohun tí wọ́n fẹ́ ṣe fún wa àwọn kan ti wá ẹ̀ tó wá wọ́n ti sọ àti kọ́lẹ̀ àwọn kan sì máa wá lẹ́yìn yín wọ́n máa sọ tiwọn ṣùgbọ́n ohun tí ẹ bá sọ mo dúpẹ́ pé Nàìjíríà ó ti ń yàtọ̀ díẹ̀díẹ̀ tí ì ṣe pé pátì báyìí tẹ́lẹ̀ wọ́n pé pátì báyìí gbogbo wa pátì báyìí la máa dìbò fún èmi ti wà ní polling booth rí ní abúlé wa ẹ wá rí pé bí àwọn èèyàn ṣe ń dìbò ó yàtọ̀ ó ti yàtọ̀ wípé lágbára pátì báyìí òun ló gbọ́dọ̀ wọlé ó dẹ̀ pátì ń dìbò fún àwọn tí a fi kó lè ṣe a dẹ̀ wá rí pé ìràpadà nàìjíríà ògo nàìjíríà tó ti wọmi kó tó lè padà láti fi àwọn tí wọ́n máa ṣe ìlú kí ni mo sọ ṣẹ́gbọ́n tí mo sọ àwọn tó máa ṣe kí ni kí ló fi yàtọ̀ sí àwọn tí ó máa jẹ̀lú gbogbo wa la mọ̀ túmọ̀ ẹ̀ àwọn tó máa ṣe ìlú tó máa tùbà tó máa tùṣẹ́ tí ẹyẹ máa máa ké bí ẹyẹ tí eku máa máa ké bí eku tí ọmọ èèyàn máa máa fọ bí ọmọ èèyàn àwọn là ń fẹ́ ń bẹ̀ ìpèníjà tá a jẹ̀ ní nìyẹn nàìjíríà láti ọjọ́ ìwá pé ta ni àwọn olórí wa ta ni àwọn tó ń darí we supposed to have leaders nítorí ẹ̀ ń pè ní leader ní Islam òun ni servant but àwọn tá a ti ní àwọn aláṣẹ ni àṣẹ tán bá dẹ̀ ti pa òun ló ti di bẹ́ẹ̀ nsìn àwa ni pé wọ́n ní òyìnbó ní shine your kíni shine your eyes alájú wa ká yan àwọn tó lè ṣe tó ń tẹ́ bá sọ fún wa àá gbé wò àá dẹ̀ gbàdúrà pé kọ́lọ̀ kó ràn yín lọ́wọ́ tó bá di ọjọ́ òbò àá débẹ̀ àá dìbò bí ẹ̀mí wa ṣe sọ fún wa àti ohun tí wọ́n sọ fún wa àwọn tó fẹ́ díje dupò kò ní ju bẹ́ẹ̀ lọ nísìnyí àwọn tí wọ́n máa béèrè béèrè wọ́n wà ń bẹ̀ ṣùgbọ́n kán tó béèrè gẹ́gẹ́ bí àwọn adarí wa ṣe sọ wọ́n á fi àwòrán hàn wá gbogbo wa á rí so lẹ́yìn yẹn a máa béèrè béèrè kò ní pẹ́ púpọ̀ o and one thing I want to assure our candidate is that sir you are not on trial you are our friend you know we didn't say interview we said interaction so we ask question you answer àṣẹ pé a lè béèrè béèrè kan ẹyọ kan kí béèrè míì tún wá ti bẹ̀ yọ lórí nǹkan bá sọ but as it were ọ̀pọ̀ ọ̀rọ̀ kò ń ṣe kí ni àti bẹ́ẹ̀ bẹ́ẹ̀ lọ ní òtó pé iwájú mo ṣe ń pa ní half tó ti bá dẹ̀ pa ní èdè tabulé wa ó lè má yé yín àwọn díẹ̀ ló lè gbọ́ jẹ̀bù tí bá sọ ń jẹ̀bù torí ẹ jọ̀ọ́ kẹ́ jẹ́ kí a farabalẹ̀ agbọ̀n tán fẹ́ bá wa sọ eléyìí tá a dẹ̀ gbé kalẹ̀ báyìí èèyàn agbérù kalẹ̀ tó jẹ́ nǹkan dáadáa ṣùgbọ́n ohun tó ń rò ń bẹ̀ kọ́ ló máa rí àdúrà ní pé àníyàn tá a dà láti ṣe léyìí ọlọ́run jẹ́ kó bọ́ sí i ọlọ́run kó wá wò ó ná ńláńlá ẹ̀ kó má ṣe léyìí ní ìbálẹ́jọ́ fún wa o bẹ́ẹ̀ lómi agbérù nǹkan dáadáa àtìbọ̀tán ẹ̀ àtìwá àṣẹyìnbọ̀ ẹ̀ á wá di ìbálẹ́jọ́ ọlọ́run má ṣe ní ìbálẹ́jọ́ fún wa ọlọ́run kó ṣe níṣẹ́ olóore kó gbà níṣẹ́ ìbádà fún wa àti iṣẹ́ olóore so olùdarí wa ẹ jẹ́ kí n ṣì dúró báyìí náà.
Thank you sir adúpẹ́ púpọ̀ sir kí a tó wo video clip nígbà tí bàbá wa chairman bá sọ̀rọ̀ lọ́wọ́ ní bàbá wa àgbà President General of the League of Imams and Alfas in Ogun State bàbá wa Sheikh Al-Imam Zikrullahi Babalola nígbà yẹn ni wọ́n wọlé àwọn náà ń kí adíjedipò wa káàbọ̀ sí ètò àti deputy wọn àwọn bàbá wa ń kí okay now please we're going to play a short video clip we plead that you pay attention to it so you can have response to them and then questions will also come from them as we start now.
Interactive session with the governorship candidates 2023. Desired goals. A good leader therefore transforms the potentials of people into a desirable reality. In Islam, leadership is choice made by Almighty Allah. Leaders should therefore be chosen on the basis of their characteristics and strengths, on the extent of their purification, and on the richness of their divine knowledge. Leaders are the servant of those they lead. Consequently, leadership should recognize the authority and sovereignty of the Creator of the heavens and earth. Be conscious of the authority of the Creator. Ensure their decisions with Him. Consult the people in their affairs and guide them with compassion and mercy. Leadership is about responsibility and accountability. Our state has had its own fair share of the good, the bad, and the ugly expected of any human groupings or society. An abridged catalogue is presented for your view. For any meaningful addition to any human development, the understanding of the past and the present are sacrosanct. The journey into the future can only be better if the driver understands the past better so he can avoid the potholes and carefully navigate the bends. Our dear state is the fourth state with the largest IGR as at 2021, 100.7 billion naira. 24th in terms of GDP, $10.47 billion. It has average budget of about 402 billion naira, an average expenditure of 384 billion naira. Recorded budget deviation performance of 31.70%, ranked 10th in the fiscal performance for 2022, ranked 6th in terms of its dependency on the federally distributed revenue, ranked 10th in terms of ability to grow revenue year on year, ranked 36th in terms of the available public revenue for honoring the capital expenditure component of the budget, ranked 33rd in terms of the debt comparative profile. Ogun State has the highest number of higher institutions in the country, 16th most populous state with a head count of 3.8 million people as at 2006 and an estimate of between 5 and 6 million now. Ogun State produced the first armored vehicle ARA in Nigeria, largest producer of limestone in Nigeria and indeed in Africa, leading state in terms of generating royalties for federal government, has over 10 untapped mineral resources, not among the top mineral producing states, major producer of some agricultural products like cassava, rice and poultry, ranked 18th on the ease of doing business, imported just $30.46 million to its economy, spent 1,920 naira on health per head, spent 6,305 naira on education per head. It has a payroll size of 29,528, has pensioner list of 14,124. The Treasury single account implementation just 0.91% of its finances. Ogun State does not have approved cash management strategy. The state's highest share of annual spending on the agriculture sector was 4.36% in 2019 and far below the 10% recommended benchmark. Ogun State has a vast, about 74% arable land, which is optimal for agricultural activities. The state also has vast rubber plantations in commercial quantities estimated at 500 hectares. Many local farmers had abandoned their farms for the fear of kidnappers. These are our demands. Our demands are not exhaustive due to the limited space and exigency of time. We shall from time to time reach out as we deemed fit as new ones are observed. The first one is the economy. We want positive changes in the ranking of the state with respect to all the parameters highlighted above. The incoming administration should make frantic effort to grow the IGR through untapped mineral resources, implement the TSA to the letter, Evolve a cash management strategy and block all revenue leakages in the hope of becoming the state with the largest IGR or second. Reduce its budget performance deviation to the recommended 15%. Evolve a functional help desk with a view of driving service delivery in the public sector. Deploy the use of information technology in its operations and service delivery. Guide against unnecessary borrowing and emphasize the use of public-private partnership arrangement to deliver public goods. Clear backlog of staff deductions and pension arrears. We also expect the incoming administration to pay salaries and pensions as and when due. Improve the ease of doing business in the state and also grow the capital importation to about $10 billion, focusing more on foreign direct investment, especially with the untapped mineral resources and agriculture. Create an agency to support startup businesses and SMEs beyond the advancement of loans. Grant functional autonomy to local government and hand off some of their sources of finance. Evolve strategy to recruit, train, and keep qualified personnel in the state, especially those in the education, medical, and information technology sector. Drive talent hunt from among the bona fide citizens of the state and adequately reward excellence, innovation, and discoveries. Rebrand the state using its vast potentials of human and material resources. Create data banks and train data analytics. Decision of incoming administration should be information driven because the effectiveness and efficiency of one's decision is a function of the quality and quantity of information at hand. 2. Rights. We request the government of our dear state to ensure inclusiveness of all sections and poles of the state with equity, fairness, equality, and egalitarianism as instrument in the running of government to achieve the much desired progress and development. Equity, equality, justice, and fairness should be maintained as a standard in the distribution of appointment and benefits from government. Now to education. Ensure budgetary allocation to the education sector consistently meets the minimum benchmark for education. Increase its capital spending on education and health to 10,000 naira per head. We demand the restoration of unhindered teaching of IRS in schools aided by pragmatic employment and deployment of IRS teachers. On security, evolve and sustain security innovation towards crime prevention. Pay special cognizance to the security monitoring of the large influx of non-indigents into the state who mostly engages in commercial motorcycle transportation. We request that our roads be saved from Russians parading themselves as ticketers for motorcycle operators and commercial vehicles. Their menace on the road poses security threat. Concerted effort should be made to curb gross indiscipline and delinquencies among our youth. Now to agriculture. Revolutionize the state's agronomy with adequate investment or financial commitment.
Thank you very much for your attention, Your Excellency. We have communicated with you. It is time for you to talk to us. Bàṣẹmáṣe ni wípé a fẹ́ kí àwọn nǹkan tẹ́ mú jáde láti ibẹ̀ yẹn kó jáde láti ara àwọn èrò tó máa jáde síta nínú ìdáhùn sí àwọn ìbéèrè tí a máa bí. Alága wa ni wọ́n máa bá pè àwọn panelists wa. Sir, you can call the panelists in the order that you want. Kàn gba question kankan lọ́wọ́ wọn. Lákọ̀ọ́kọ́ ká wá wò bí àyè ṣe máa ṣẹ́kù sí. Mr. Chairman, sir.
Thank you very much. I would like to call on our brother, Professor Salau from FUNAB, to ask the first question.
Assalamu alaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Your Excellency, sir, I watched the video clip now. One area that was not mentioned has to do with some of these horticultural crops that can be regarded as having a high comparative advantage, like a plantain, like banana, like tomato, which are classified as perishable goods. The unfortunate thing is that economic loss resulting from the spoilage of these items are enormous. Are enormous because when you see them being transported, sometimes during glut, they become spoiled because of the fact that their prices have gone down. Most of these items resides in most local governments in Ogun State. Now, I want to link it up with what is happening at the local government. You have once been a commissioner for finance in Ogun State, and you and the commissioner for budget, at least you know how money is being shared between the states and local government. I think you understand this thing, that most of these goods that we're talking about are in the local government, and this produce, this problem may happen because of the deplorable conditions of all our local governments. Sir, if you are elected as the governors, how do you address all these issues, more especially the deplorable condition of our local government area? Thank you very much, sir.
Thank you, sir. Mr. Chairman, sir, I will want His Excellency to attend to this question straight away. Ẹ jọ̀wọ́ ẹ bá wa ṣe ní Yorùbá àti Èbó torí kí gbogbo wa lè gbọ́. Ẹ ṣé.
Amúlùmálà la máa pè yàn. Àtúrà pé mo máa ṣe náà nìyẹn. Mo fẹ́ kí àwọn bàbá wa, the President General of the League of Imams and Alfas, and the League of Imams and Alfas here, the chairman of this occasion, and our distinguished scholars and professionals that are here. This is a very big honor and privilege for me to be here. And first of all, I will say that being here is not an ambition, or contesting for governorship of Ogun State is not an ambition. I never wanted to. I'm a professional. I believe in the work I do, and I do it with a lot of passion. And I believe as a professional, we must contribute our whole quota to the development of our country. When I was given the opportunity in Ogun State, people that have worked with me, people in Ogun State, will see what one could do as a professional. And luckily in the area of budget and finance. But when you see what is going on, bí bàbá ṣe sọ, tí àwọn òṣèlú wà, àwọn òjèlú wà, àwọn ìjọba dẹ̀ sì wà, a lè ṣe ìjọba tí ò bá sí òṣèlú. A wá rí pé gbogbo àwọn tó ń ṣe òṣèlú wa láti 19 lọ́pọ̀lọpọ̀ mi ní sọ wípé gbogbo wọn, àwọn tó ń ṣe òṣèlú wa láti 1999 ta ní ká gbà lọ́wọ́ àwọn ológun, òjèlú ló pọ̀ nínú wọn. It is more about themselves, not the people. And gbogbo ọgbọ́n tí a ti dá láti bá àwọn olóṣèlú ṣe, láti wọnú wọn, láti sọ fún wọn wípé ìlú ló yẹ ká sìn, èèyàn ló yẹ ká sìn, tí a bá fi ọkàn kan àti inú kan àti ìbẹ̀rù Ọlọ́run ṣe òṣèlú àti ìjọba, ìlú máa tòrò. But tí a bá rí àwọn tó ń ṣe ń sìn tí kò tòrò, ó jọ pé nǹkan kan ṣẹlẹ̀ nìyẹn, pé kò sí òtítọ́, kò dẹ̀ sí ìfẹ́ ìlú. nínú kan tí wọ́n ṣe. Èmi tí mo wà níwájú yìí mo wà nínú àwọn tí ó kọ ìlànà tí ó dẹ̀ fún ní mandate láti implement what we call the regional plan for Ogun State for 25 years. A bẹ̀rẹ̀ kíkọ́ ní 2003 wọ́n parí kíkọ́ ní 2005 wọ́n wá ṣe ní 2005 to 2025. We contributed into it, and when the implementation came in 27-28, I was given the role of the commissioner in charge of it, not as civil commissioner for finance. Ọ̀gá wa ń gbà yẹn Ọ̀túnba Gbẹ́kẹ̀dálẹ̀ ó bèrè lọ́gbọ̀n ṣé mo lè combine ẹ̀ mọ iṣẹ́ finance. Mo ní ó bára wọn lọ torí tá a bá mọ ibi tá a ń lọ a kàn máa da owó nù ni. So a dẹ̀ ń ṣe ń gbà yẹn. Ẹ rí pé gbogbo nǹkan ribiribi àti nǹkan tó jẹ́ kí ìlú lọ síwájú ní Ogun State ó pọ̀ ní time yẹn torí pé a jẹ́ kí ẹ̀tọ́ kó lọ síbi tó yẹ kó lọ. A dẹ̀ ní focus àti ní vision láti ṣe. Yẹn ló ń ta wá lára wípé àwọn ìjọba tó tún wá tẹ̀lé wa wọn ò gbé ìlànà ẹ̀ ṣe. That's what we call discontinuity. Wọ́n gba sẹ́gbẹ̀ẹ́ ni. A dẹ̀ wá wo nǹkan tó ń ṣe pé ṣé ń bóyá wọ́n tẹ̀ máa rí lò. A lọ bá wọn sọ kì í pé a bá wọn sọ pé ìlànà yìí wà ńlẹ̀. Òṣèlú ò ní ká má lo ìlànà tó wà ńlẹ̀. Ó ti jọ pé nǹkan tó wù wọ́n ni wọ́n ṣe. Nínú àwọn tó ti ṣe ìjọba sẹ́yìn mo ti kọ manifesto fún wọn wípé báyìí lẹ́kẹ̀ ṣe láti lè reflect plan tí a nílẹ̀. But wọn ó jọ pé wọ́n á sọ̀rọ̀ fún gbogbo wa a gbọ́ pé a fẹ́ ṣèjọba a fi pé wọ́n sincere but wọ́n bá débẹ̀ tán ó jọ pé ti ara wọn ni wọ́n ṣe. Nínú nǹkan ti fídíò tí mo wò the first thing tí a kọ́kọ́ sọ is the issue of leadership, and I will connect it to what Prof mentioned about even local government. Nǹkan tó ṣẹlẹ̀ ni pé the moment we still depend, and there is no way we can do it, on the political system that we have today to be producing leaders without some form of intervention by well-meaning Nigerians, we are going to be producing leaders that will not care for the people. And that is the reason why some of us as professionals, driven by the young people, because kò ṣe pé mo fẹ́ dìde mo lọ sọ pé kò ṣe ambition. Ìgbà tí àwọn ọmọ youth wa tí wọ́n ṣe EndSARS ní 2020 ni wọ́n pè wá ìgbà tí wọ́n rí pé àwọn ò lè wọ́n fẹ́ transformation nílùú ni wọ́n fẹ́ ẹ̀hónú wọn náà wọ́n dẹ̀ hold ìlú yìí for ransom for like 3-4 weeks. Wọ́n lé wọn lọ sílé lóòótọ́ pọ̀ kò rẹ̀ wọ́n because they believe that this is their country and they must do something about it. They call people like us who have been in government before, who they think have worked to serve the people, and said, advise us, what do we do? Should we join a political party? Should we form our own party? And what do we do? Because what we are actually fighting for is the transformation of this country for our current and for our future. We don't know so much about the past. You people know about the past. As we are talking, and we are talking about what the future could be, and we are talking about the obstacles that the political parties have, some of them came up and said, Ojopo Yeyigan, can you lead us? Because it requires money, it requires some bit of violence, and it requires quite a lot of things that people like us do not do. But they said they will put it to prayer, and that you too should put it to prayer. That's why it's not an ambition. And by God's grace, we put it to prayer. And one fine morning, the Almighty God told us, go ahead, go and do this. I will lead you. And God has been leading us thus far. It was God Almighty that led us to even decide on the party. The party was not Labour Party. The party that we first chose was another party entirely. But just at the point we were going to file our nomination, a call came and said something is changing in Nigeria. A group of people who want progress in this country are coming together, and that they found that somebody like you should be in that group, not in that political party. Who are these group people? There is a body that I belong to of professionals called the Nigerian Consultative Front. They are the ones that they call them third force, want to mobilize our professionals. They said they are talking to TUC, the labor unions. They are talking to NLC. and they are looking for a platform to use, and they are finding out that it should be Labour Party, because Labour Party is the party of workers, and workers have been agitating for good governance for all these days, and that's how we found ourselves in Labour Party. But let me tell you, sir, and some of us may know here, our experience in the party that all of us believe that could work for us in the past 6 months has not been cheering. Leadership is key, and it's built at that level. And repay, even party wa, they are all political merchants. And the first task that we have to follow, that we have to do as people, was to see that we institute a process of sincerity and transparency and accountability and responsibility inside the party. Because without a good party, you cannot have a good government. We have been challenged severely. As I'm standing in front of you, INEC has not brought out my name as a candidate, despite the fact that I did the primaries, or we did the primaries on June 9. We are waiting for a court judgment on Monday, and we are very positive that, given justice and fairness that we mentioned in the presentation, we will succeed and we will get the tickets. But that gives me the foundation that we need to build a party, and thank God today, that party that we have today as Labour Party is ready to bring out leadership, both at the state level, even at the federal level we know about, particularly at the local government level, that will address the issues that we are talking about around development. Because if you don't have the right leaders at that level, a lot of the gaps that we are seeing here will be there. Not just right in terms of character, competence, but also with integrity and the vision to drive what we are seeing. That is where I will put that question first of all. Party, and thank God today we have a caretaker committee made of distinguished men and women, responsible men and women, with a lot of youth supporting them, so that going forward, using Ogun State as a model, the party will be seen not just as an election-winning vehicle, but a governance facilitating machinery. Inside that party itself, we have created what we call a breeding space for leaders. We have created an academy for politics and governance. Because so many people that contest elections, that want to are not prepared. They don't know the fundamentals. We have mentioned economy here. We have mentioned education, rights, and so many things. What are the issues that our politicians are talking about? It is empowerment. They just think it's empowerment. It's about vote buying, a host of things like that. The issues that affect the development of the people, they don't know at all. It is like taking somebody to be an imam without going to Quranic school. How will it be possible? We are giving them so much huge responsibility that they are not prepared for. We are prepared to address this in Labour Party, particularly starting with our government when we come in. I will now go to the questions that you mentioned, which is agriculture, which is the value of the wasting value of our agriculture. You see, it's all tied to design. We know, I was talking to the Middle Belt Forum on Saturday, and they confirmed to us that they come here to farm. They come to Ogun State to farm. When you check Google map, Ogun State is one of the most fertile, has the most fertile land in this country. The people in the Middle West say, you don't need fertilizer to do things here, to do agriculture here. But if we don't have a plan for delivering food or delivering cash crops to our people, we just realize that what we are talking about will happen. It is that plan that we need to put in place, or we are going to put in place. There is this concept that has been pushed before by the Ministry of Spedan called one local government, one product. It means that every local government should work towards the area that they have the best comparative advantage, so that alejo tabakon ṣe à ń pín banana káàkiri all over the local government, or we are taking plantain to all over, or we are doing tomato or potato all over the local government. What we will see is that there will be this problem of taking them through what we call the value chain. And in each value chain will mean from production, from the planting, the harvesting, to processing, or to transportation, to processing, and even consumption. But taba design local government, taking cognizance of the vegetation and the soil structure to agree products that will be grown in each local government. begin to see that we will get a lot of value in that process. In the process of the value chain itself, there's a lot of work, there's a lot of employment that can be generated by our people. But if we don't have that, it will be difficult, and you'll be seeing this kind of wastages that we are talking about. It is just a plan, and this kind of plan are the things that we want to put in place to make sure that every local government has at least minimum of 2 products, particularly 2 agricultural products, 2 food crops, 2 cash crops, that they will produce in sufficient economic quantity that people will be able to say, go to Ikene, what are they doing? Say, be cola. Chagami used to be cola. Today, is it cola? Cassava is everywhere. So that people there will build the capacity to grow it, to transport it, to do everything around it, so that beyond even local consumption, we can also feed export. Even not export, there will be even what they call national export. Lagos is there with a bursting population. They don't grow food. We are in the best position to produce food for Lagos, but we still get food from the north. So that advantage can be there with that kind of plan. But it will take people, leaders, particularly in the local government, who understand visioning, planning. And that is why when we get to government, before the local government election, and we are even starting now, Saturday we are doing a training session for 200 core apostles of the obedient movement, who we are going to begin to train about the heart of responsible politics and responsible governance. I know if you put this in place, it will go beyond us. It will also begin to breed the next generation of people that will address the needs of the people. I think I can stop at this point in that response. Thank you, sir.
Thank you very much. Mr. Chairman, the next person, but we want the questions and the answer to take a total of 5 minutes. From the beginning of the question to the end of the answer will be 5 minutes per question. Thank you, Mr. Chairman.
Therefore, the questions should be pointed. We don't want stories. So by the time you give all those theories, you're leading the candidate. Sometimes you answer the questions before asking the question. So just ask the questions pointedly, and let Honorable answer us properly. So I would like to call Eje Kashe Abulabi. Ọkùnrin kan, obìnrin kan, ọkùnrin kan, obìnrin kan, àbí? Dr. Adefunke Ayide. So may I invite you to please interact with our incoming governor.
Jazakallah khairan. Assalamu alaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Good morning, Your Excellency. My questions were many, but I would like to zero in on the issue of cattle herders and the unabated clashes between the cattle herders. Sorry, I have a bad voice. And the farmers. I want to quickly give a background.
Oh, le sọ yẹn náà ní Yorùbá. Cattle herders, kí ló ń jẹ́ bẹ́ẹ̀?
Àwọn tó ń da ẹran, àwọn darandaran tí wọ́n ti di darandaran àti àwọn àgbẹ̀ wa. Ohun tí mo fẹ́ sọ kí n tó béèrè mi yìí ó ṣe pàtàkì díẹ̀, ẹ má bínú chairman wa sir. Àwọn bọ̀rọ̀ kìnní, those that we call elites, they are the ones causing this issue. And I'll quickly explain, sir. Those people that are rearing those animals, they aren't the owners. Àwọn kan náà ni wọ́n. Irú mi, irú yín sà, olóyè lẹ́gbàá, olóyè níbòmí, olórí ìjọba, àwọn tí wọ́n kó kíní yẹn fún wọn nìyẹn. Ṣùgbọ́n àjọ ń jókòó sí ìgbangba, àjọ ń sọ wípé kíní yẹn ò dáa. Ẹ jọ̀ọ́ sà, ǹjẹ́ ẹ̀yin lè ṣàyà gbangba kẹ́ ẹ gbaná ojú àwọn tó wà ń di ọ̀rọ̀ yìí àwọn tó wà ń bẹ̀ irú mi ni mo sọ o I'm an associate professor professorial cadre and we have people in that cadre and I stand to be corrected we have people higher than them generally the elites some people have more than 100 and I'm very sure of what I'm saying ẹ jọ̀ọ́ sir having known this background báwo lẹ ṣe fẹ́ takulẹ̀ ìdí rẹ̀ o àwọn èèyàn mi ò rómi mú lóko ẹ lọ sí ojú Ògùn lọ́nà olódò lọ́nà bọ́ṣẹ̀rọ̀ omi mímu àwọn ẹranko yìí wọ́n ti pòlù ìwọ̀n ọjọ́ bíi 5-6 àwọn lè pọnmi níbẹ̀ bákan náà àwọn obìnrin yìí wọ́n nílò ìrànlọ́wọ́ wa o ìkànṣó ni màá wá sọ nínú ìrànlọ́wọ́ tó nílò nítorí àkókò ẹ tẹ Ọlọ́run á ṣe dáadáa fún yín ǹjẹ́ tẹ́ ẹ bá wọlé ǹjẹ́ ó ṣeé ṣe kẹ́ ẹ mú ọ̀rọ̀ wọn lókun dúdùn débi wípé wọ́n fẹ́ gba lóònù ní o bóyá 0 interest bóyá ẹ fẹ́ fún wọn àwọn rural women ni mò ń sọ rural women ni mò ń sọ o àwọn rural women ni mò ń sọ o ìgbangba náà kàn mí àmọ́ àwọn mọ̀lẹ́bí mi gangan nìyẹn nínú iṣẹ́ tí mo yàn láàyò ǹjẹ́ ó ṣeé ṣe ká ẹ fún wọn ní nǹkan tí wọ́n máa fi lè máa rẹ́gísítà gẹ́gẹ́ bí ẹgbẹ́lẹ́gbẹ́ cooperative rules and regulations ẹjọ́ ṣe lè bá wa mú wálẹ̀ ṣe lè bá wa ṣe environment yẹn nírọ̀rùn fún wọn káwọn ọmọ wọn yé lọ ọ̀ta àwọn arúgbó lókùlókù níparísà
thank you
níparísà the rule of law ẹjọ́ ṣe lè uphold when there are court injunctions can you follow it sir ọlọ́wọ́ àṣẹ sir.
Thank you very much. As said by the chairman, I take that this question has been on for just 1 minute. So, Your Excellency, you have 4 minutes left to answer.
Thank you very much. It's a quadruple question. There are various dimensions, but I'll take it one by one. The first one is around security. That's the menace of the àwọn darandaran àti àwọn àgbẹ̀ wa. Ṣé rí ọ̀rọ̀ ìlú wa ní Nàìjíríà a máa ń ṣe too informally. There's something we call systems thinking about the whole rather than just the parts. And the part of the whole is a summation of the parts. Business ni àwọn èèyàn ṣe èmi náà mọ nǹkan tẹ́ ń sọ yẹn tẹ́lẹ̀tẹ́lẹ̀ wọ́n sọ fún wa pé àwọn kan ló wá láti ibì kan tí wọ́n ń ba oko wa jẹ́ tí wọ́n kó ẹran sí ìlú. I ṣe ìwádìí torí I was president of Egba Economic Summit and this issue was brought to the fore. Láwa rí i pé àwọn èèyàn wa àwọn ọ̀tọ̀kùlú ìlú àwọn ló ń ṣe bísínẹ́sì cattle bearing wọ́n kàn máa gba àwọn bòróró pé kán máa kó wọn káàkiri ni bóyá ìṣẹ̀lẹ̀ nínú farming gangan náà nìyẹn ní àwọn oko wa kì í ṣe àwọn ọ̀dọ́ wa kì í ṣe àwọn èèyàn wa ló ń ṣe farming o àwọn ìgèdè ìdòmà tiv gbogbo wọn la máa ń kó wá síbí láti wá ṣe iṣẹ́ fún wa àwa ti fi iṣẹ́ àwọn iṣẹ́ yẹn sílẹ̀ but tí a bá control ẹ̀ kò ní ní desired impact yẹn ni mo ń pè ní systems ẹ̀dẹ̀ sọ kí ní kan nínú nǹkan tá a sọ bí báyìí a pè ní data analytics kò sẹ́ni tó máa ṣe iṣẹ́ yẹn táwọn kò ní implication lórí security wa tí a gbọ́dọ̀ mọ̀ o díẹ̀ kọ̀ọ̀kan di iṣẹ́ darandaran fẹ́ wù mí ṣe mo lọ ra màálù 200 àbí 100 ó kàn kó wọlú ministry agriculture wa ó gbọ́dọ̀ register gbogbo èèyàn tó páyé máa kó lójú nìyẹn tó ń ṣe iṣẹ́ yẹn ẹni tí wọ́n bá rí tí ò bá register tí a bá mọ iye ẹranko tó ní ó ń ṣe iṣẹ́ yẹn illegally ni. There are so many areas of our economy in Ogun State that we have left to informality and lack of order and control. wọ́n ti bẹ̀rẹ̀ náà nìyẹn ẹ sọ̀rọ̀ ń bíbá wọ́n sọ̀rọ̀ street urchins wọ́n sọ̀rọ̀ àwọn ọlọ́kadà kò sí control kankan ìgbà tó bá fẹ́ kó gba owó náà máa bẹ because their what government is in power for is to regulate the behaviour of people and to get that regulation you must put controls in place. I am ready for those who have worked with me before know that I am ready. There was a time when people were setting up schools anyhow every school náà sìn àìmọye kéréje private school ìmí but standardization àti control ló bẹ̀rẹ̀ sí improve quality wọn. We have left that area for people to just operate without any control. The first task we are going to do to control it and to confront so that come out and say you are doing that business and we will not give you the conditions for running that business. You cannot be taking just your cows just anywhere. Ibi tí ọ̀rọ̀ ranching ló ṣe máa ṣe nìyẹn torí for sustainable akọ àwọn èèyàn kan nígbà tí mo wà níjọba arọ àwọn èèyàn kan àwọn youth wa lọ sí University of Plymouth wọ́n ṣe sustainable agriculture wọ́n dẹ̀ sọ fún wa bí wọ́n ṣe máa ṣe láti ṣe ìlànà wa that plan that we had that time we got 40 people 40 young Ogun State people sent them to various universities abroad in all the areas of our economy agriculture yẹn wà ń bẹ̀ ranching yẹn náà ó wà ń bẹ̀ ní Plymouth náà sọ fún wa ní pé you can be a complete value chain and I know they are doing it in Funab now around that but if it is informal you cannot get the best from that sector so that informality we have to make it formal and that formalization will come from data gathering data collecting all the investors and participants and registering them so that we know their operations and regulating their operations. Invariably through that registration we are addressing insecurity the clashes that will be between them. The next one that's on agriculture rural women there is a cooperative system most in the urban areas but it's not that entrenched in the rural areas so they don't have what they call access to funding and there are institutions that are already in place to make it possible. But let me tell you something. One of the first things we will do when we get to government in this Ogun State is to actually do a database of everybody in Ogun State. Because without a database, so that we know who is where. Because without data, we are all just guessing. In total quality management,
Technologies available to address security, to complement that plan. We will, like we said, we have a database of the state, and we will map of the state. Because technologies available to make it happen. That's the first one.
Now my change.
Education is functional, relevant education that will give people skills, people that can practice, that can begin to use support. Because we have people that are spending 60 years of education and working at the end for a project. When from SS2, people can get more skills that can lead to acquire skills that can be involved. That will bring to the business. For the connection between industry and school, so that you are now, of course, when you do internship and all of those kinds of things, education, and then don't come out of in fact, there is also in that area of health and education will be fully educated to honor the religion for one another. So that I can produce people, not only who are going to get jobs there, who are also not taking abroad. What was that? We have a program called to later Ogun and Gender. We do a lot of our abroad, and I think very well. So they see opportunities for people here. If they can do here, how do you feel about opportunities for them, for our something for them there? They are talking to them when they are comparing the people that they will take extra professionals abroad. Who are providing opportunities for for a lot of people in Nigeria, taking place on how they are building a very focus on that money. All the parameters that are defined in the economy here, we are going to do all of that to support the access to the money for the government. And we're also coming out with technology that allows us to have the way that we are going to do. We are going to start with that process now. We have our next 2 weeks. That is the infrastructure. Economy. You will thinking that the economy of our day is the reality of our people. Before the deliberate strategy of things are not there. Dubai, the UAE, deliberately decided to make Dubai the center of the world. They are by doing that. We are realized to build our economy on 5 pillars. Construction number 1. To move a lot of our people to control. Once we get this money, we have capacity to employ in others. Us, number 2. That also the area. We build it on the land, what that program, 2006, 2010. Today, our freedom has been. We can build the whole economy around us to engage our people. Entertainment is another one. If you want to do it, there is so much money for us. That agriculture is another one. We are not assuming people, but if we work on it, climate change, global change, what they are disposing of our planting, we know is about the food process of those marketing and rest. Then technology. Today in Nigeria, we take youth and having the best technologies. We have 16 or we have 20 and vibrant people. We need to open up that account to them. So that they are only making money and also making money at home. Technology is drive our money to advantage and we will make sure that it is not of benefit of wealth. Leadership and that's the other issue. Like you said, what political leadership or government leadership they are going to give us the timeline of leaders, either in politics or in civil service and in government itself, so that this is for one man's part. This is the outcome. Without we can do these young people are old, standing on the map, that are ready to take back their life. We must provide them the experience and the skills to make that happen. The last key of shield digital transformation. We are digital. We must ensure that we configure our government, our economy, our society to use technology to advance more. Today, everybody is go over. That is the right way to get into work. And that education, and that security, and that government, and that everything that we want to make sure that our state will be the best in the world. That is our shield. That is our family party. And you can see all the things that we can fit it into what we have. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much. It's around the new world side, to sleep at the front of the world.
From across the world, some of the comments I will later read out. Some people are itching to ask questions from the crowd. Yes, that first hand up, the man in a red shirt. Oh, not a shirt. It's Buba. Tẹ́ ẹ bá ti lè sọ Yorùbá ẹ lọ jókòó. Ṣé ẹ lè sọ Yorùbá?
Orúkọ mi ni Ọ̀gbẹ́ni Adéníjì Abrafiu Alani MNI. Gómìnà wa, ìbéèrè tí mo ní ó ní í ṣe pẹ̀lú nǹkan tí a lè pè ní ìjíhìn iṣẹ́ ní ìjọba Buhari tí à ń ṣe lọ yìí. Ìjọba àpapọ̀ nígbà tí ẹgbẹ́ òṣìṣẹ́ tó lè mọ́ wọn àti ìjọba a ṣe ìpàdé papọ̀, wàhálà pọ̀, àwọn olùdáṣẹ́sílẹ̀ pàápàá lára wọ́n contribute wọ́n dá sí i. Ìjọba àpapọ̀ gbà láti ṣe ìrànlọ́wọ́ fún àwọn ìpínlẹ̀. Nígbà tí ọjọ́ yá tí ọjọ́ pé tí ìjọba àpapọ̀ ṣe nǹkan tí wọ́n pè ní ìrànlọ́wọ́ fún ìjọba ìpínlẹ̀, ọ̀pọ̀lọpọ̀ ìpínlẹ̀ òun ni a ò rí àǹfààní this assistance ìrànlọ́wọ́ tíjọba àpapọ̀ ṣe. Wọ́n ní kó sanwó oṣù, ọ̀pọ̀lọpọ̀ òṣìṣẹ́ ni ò lè sanwó oṣù. Wọ́n ní kí wọ́n jíròrò pẹ̀lú ẹgbẹ́ òṣìṣẹ́ owó wo ló lè tó fún àwọn òṣìṣẹ́ láti mú lọ sílé, ṣùgbọ́n ọ̀pọ̀lọpọ̀ eléyìí kò ṣeé ṣe. Ìyí tó burú jù tó tiẹ̀ wá bùyàrì òun ni àwọn tó ti ṣiṣẹ́ sí orílẹ̀-èdè yìí tí a pè ní òṣìṣẹ́ fi ẹ̀yìn tì. Wọ́n tún sanwó àwọn ẹni yìí náà. Owó tó yẹ tí wọ́n pension àti gratuity ọ̀nà méjì tó pín sí lélẹ́yìí. Wọ́n ò béèrè kankan míì lọ́dọ̀ ìjọba ju pé kí wọ́n san àwọn nǹkan wọ̀nyí. Ṣùgbọ́n pẹ̀lú gbogbo àwọn nǹkan ìrànlọ́wọ́ tíjọba àpapọ̀ ṣe yìí, first tranche, second tranche, third tranche and even some tranches tí wọn ò announce fún wa. Síbẹ̀síbẹ̀ ìjọba ọ̀pọ̀lọpọ̀ ìjọba ìpínlẹ̀ wọn ò ṣe nǹkan tó yẹ kí wọ́n ṣe. Ǹjẹ́ tí ẹ̀yin tí ẹ bá gorí àga àlééfà gẹ́gẹ́ bí gómìnà ìpínlẹ̀ Ògùn ọ̀nà wo lè fẹ́ gbà fi ṣe tírú àwọn nǹkan báwọ̀ yìí because a gbọ́ wípé àjọsọpọ̀ ọ̀rọ̀ ẹgbẹ́ nǹkan tá a lè pè ní ẹgbẹ́ secret court ó wà láàrin àwọn gómìnà tí wọ́n bá dẹ̀ ti fẹnu kò lórí ẹ̀ nǹkan tó ń kára àlù sọ kò wúlò mọ́ ọ̀nà wo lè fẹ́ gbà fi tó wa fi assurance fún wa wípé irú eléyìí ò ní ṣẹlẹ̀ nígbà tiyín nítorí pé ìjọ mùsùlùmí a kó sí ọkàn gidi nípa nǹkan tí a ń pè ní kájíyìn iṣẹ́ kọ́kọ́ nǹkan fún wa ká mọ̀ ọ́ lò pàápàá lára owó àwọn tàbí bùkátà àwọn dúkìá àwọn tó jẹ́ pé wọn ò lágbára nílùú ọ̀nà wo lè fẹ́ fi gbà ṣe tó jẹ́ pé àwọn tí ò lágbára nílùú gẹ́gẹ́ bí àwọn alágbára professionals and everything tí wọ́n fi ní máa fìyà jẹ àwọn tí ó jẹ́ pé wọ́n ń bẹ lọ́hùn ni ẹ ṣe.
Your Excellency a ní ìṣẹ́jú tí ó pọ̀ mọ́ rárá láti parí ètò yìí torí adíje dupò míì ti wà lọ́nà ó dẹ̀ ti fẹ́ débi àfẹ́kẹ́ pàdé ara yín bí àtẹ̀mọ́ pé ẹ̀ ní ìjànà ṣùgbọ́n àfẹ́kẹ́ bára yín bí torí ìyálé àti ìyàwó tó bá pàdé ara wọn náà wọ́n lè má jà ṣùgbọ́n wọ́n lè má rẹ́rìn-ín ẹ ṣeun sá.
ẹ ṣe gan ni ọ̀rọ̀ yín yé mi nǹkan tó ń pè ní accountability and transparency ni gbogbo àwọn assistance ti federal government fún wa yìí gbàtà wà nípò gan àwa náà ṣe agbátẹrù ẹ̀ ó bẹ̀rẹ̀ lórí MDG funds àti Paris Club refund àti budget support ẹ̀ẹ́dẹ̀ rí pé nígbà yẹn gbàtà gba àwọn owó yẹn a fi san oríṣiríṣi àwọn owó tí ó ti jẹ sẹ́yìn particularly pensions and gratuity ìgbà yẹn la san 142% increase tán fún àwọn pensioners nígbà yẹn ṣe rí nǹkan tó ń ṣe àwọn ìjọba wa àtàpàlẹ́ làwọn tó jẹ́ pé òṣèlú náà lọ ṣe tí wọ́n fẹ́ jẹ́ pé wọ́n fẹ́ ṣe ìjọba ni pé èrò tí wọ́n náà fẹ́ ṣe kì í ṣe èrò tara ìlú tí wọn ò dẹ̀ ní jẹ́ kí àwọn èèyàn mọ nǹkan tí wọ́n ń ṣe torí pé wọn ò ní mọ̀ system ti wà ń sìn tí ó ń jẹ́ pé lóṣooṣù ní gbogbo ìjọba gbọ́dọ̀ máa fi àjíyìn abẹ́rẹ́ pé accountability wọn gbọ́dọ̀ máa fi hàn àwọn aráàlú tẹ bá lọ sí sifters.org ẹ máa rí financial report gbogbo state wà kí n wò ẹ jẹ́ ká bẹ̀rẹ̀ sí wò so that a bá rí pé owó kan wọlé a máa bèrè pé báwo ni ẹ ṣe ó yẹ kẹ ẹ ná báyìí dáadáa lóṣù tó kọjá o ẹ máa gbọ́dọ̀ ná dáadáa ní oṣù tó ń bọ̀ àwọn make sure pé torí we represent accountability that is my profession and I cannot waver on it so ayé máa ṣe é ṣe àwọn owó tó dẹ̀ jẹ́ pé ó pàtàkì fún wa láti san lánàá mo wà ní ìpàdé interactive session báyìí pẹ̀lú àwọn pensioner a dẹ̀ ti sọ fún wọn pé ọ̀rọ̀ ẹni tó ti sin ìlú tó ti ṣiṣẹ́ fún ìlú a gbọ́dọ̀ gbé wọn lárugẹ wọn ò gbọ́dọ̀ fi àgbáyé wọn máa rágó nǹkan tí wọ́n yà èèyàn ṣe ṣiṣẹ́ tí ọkọ ọba àdá ọba gé wọn lẹ́sẹ̀ nìyẹn ká máa fi dù wọ́n kò ní máa mú àwọn tó wà níjọba ń sìn tó ń ṣiṣẹ́ lọ́wọ́ ń sìn láti bẹ̀rẹ̀ sí ṣiṣẹ́ pẹ̀lú tọkàntọkàn nígbà tó ń rí àwọn tó ti wà ń bẹ̀ tí wọ́n ṣe dáadáa a gbọ́dọ̀ rí pé a wá ọ̀nà a dẹ̀ máa rí ọ̀nà yẹn èmi ti sọ kinní kan owó kì í ṣe wàhálà ìjọba priority ni wàhálà wọn àti àwọn tó fi ọkàn tán ìlú tí wọ́n mọ̀ pé wọ́n lè rí tí a bá build the case wọn dáadáa bí case wa dáadáa a lè rí owó lò báyọ̀ sọ pé nàìjíríà burú yìí a sì ń rí owó gbà wọ́n lè máa sọ pé a jẹ gbèsè o tẹ bá wo foreign transfer táwọn tó lọ tán kó wá sílùú yìí ó ju owó tá à ń pa lórí epo lọ ìyẹn mí pé tá a bá fara mọ́ àwọn èèyàn wa kan tó wà nílẹ̀ òkun wọ́n á lè fún wa ní àǹfààní láti rí owó láti lò China ń ṣe India ń ṣe Israel ń ṣe so there's something we call brain capital now and that our connection tá a fẹ́ ṣe ta pè ní goal yẹn greater Ogun agenda linkage láti jẹ́ kí àwọn ọmọ wa tí owó ìjọba bá tiẹ̀ fẹ́ dínkù díẹ̀ táwọn fẹ́ fi ìdàgbàsókè àwọn ọmọ wa tó wà nílẹ̀ òkun tí wọ́n fẹ́ máa wálé tí wọ́n fẹ́ máa wo nǹkan tó ń mèremère wọ́n á fẹ́ dá sí ọ̀rọ̀ ìjọba wa àwa dẹ̀ máa fi fún wọn kọ́ wọn lọ́kàn pé a máa rí owó pẹ̀lú wọn ò ní fẹ́ ọ̀rọ̀ bàbá mi pensioner ni màmá mi pensioner ni ètò wà lọ́wọ́ náà pensioner náà ni àwọn náà wọ́n máa pè so wọ́n máa rí pé a ṣe nǹkan tó yẹ ká ṣe ń bì báyìí wọ́n fún wa ní àǹfààní láti rí pé a ṣe nǹkan tó yẹ ká ṣe ẹ ṣe gan ni.
adúpẹ́ ẹjọ́ kí ó tó di pé alága bá wa fi àdàgbà ìdò irọ́ mo fẹ́ kẹ́ bójú wo ẹ̀yìn ẹ gbójú padà ọdún mẹ́rin ò jù bẹ́ẹ̀ lọ o ṣẹ́gbọ́n mi sà ọdún mẹ́rin ò jù bẹ́ẹ̀ lọ ọdún mẹ́rin táwọn kan ti lò là ń wò yìí tó bá bọ́ sọ́wọ́ yín ọdún mẹ́rin tí náà ò ní jù bẹ́ẹ̀ lọ kẹ́ ẹ bẹ̀rẹ̀ sí ronú nǹkan tẹ́ fẹ́ ká mọ̀ nípa yín tí àsìkò yẹn bá dé tó bá lọ. Chairman, you may want to round up, sir.
Kí la ṣe máa pe àwọn bọ̀dá wa báyìí?
Excellency náà.
Adíje.
Excellency.
Your Excellency.
Excellency.
We want to appreciate you. He has spoken very well. Ẹni tó bá fẹ́ ṣe òṣèlú tó ti ẹ̀ pé kì í ṣe pé àwọn jàdú wọ́n pè wọ́n kọ́ wá ṣe. I have friends tó bá ti wọ̀ ìjọba báyìí àìṣọ̀tá ara wa o ṣùgbọ́n tó bá ti bẹ̀rẹ̀ iṣẹ́ ìjọba tó ṣèlú ni o àníṣọ̀rẹ́ mọ́ ó dìgbà tó bá tún jáde. Ìkan tó mọ̀ mí dáadáa my friend sọ pé ó ti change sí òun fóònù mi wọ́n fóònù mi láti Federal Ministry of Education wọ́n ní bàbá fẹ́ rí òun ní Aso Rock òun ò lè gbé fóònù ẹ̀ náà má gbé fóònù mi èmi gan ò ní pè ẹ́ mọ́ tó bá ṣe tán tó bá jáde á tún wá pàdé nígbà ó jáde òun ló dẹ̀ ń pè mí sìn get me it's a bad thing in governance in this country tó bá ti wọ̀jọba báyìí gbogbo ètò ẹ̀sọ́ yẹn ó dùn mọ́ wa mọ́ tó bá ti débẹ̀ tọ́ and of course gbogbo wa la ní beautiful plans agenda ní Nàìjíríà bẹ́ẹ̀ tó bá dé level implementation ìyẹn náà ní problem wa. Mo ti mọ̀ yín nígbà tí ẹ jẹ́ commissioner àwa náà ń fa gbùrù lábẹ́òkúta ńgbà yẹn mo rò pé ìgbà tí mo gbọ́ pé ẹ̀ ń lọ mo á ṣe àwọn gentlemen náà máa ń lọ ṣe politics because I've ever known you as a fine gentleman ṣé ẹ̀yin náà lè ṣe ẹni tí wọ́n fi ń ṣe I know you are a seasoned professional in your own right I don't know if you have that kind of money because lẹ́ni náà he has identified two things tó kì mí lọ́kàn ó ń ṣe mí lọ́kàn tó ní pé two things money and a little bit of violence money and a little bit of violence so báwo ni fine gentleman ṣe fẹ́ débẹ̀ bọ́ ẹ jókòó wọ́n pè yín àwọn tó ń pè yín ẹjọ́ fikùn lókun wọ́n wà láàyè títí ẹ gbà pé ẹ ṣe àdúrà mi pé kí Ọlọ́run kó fún yín ṣe kí Ogun State wa kó túbà kó túṣẹ fún wa ń bí o àdúrà ni pé bẹ́ẹ̀ bá jókòó báyìí náà ó jẹ́ ẹ̀yin mẹ́jọ lẹ jókòó mẹ́wàá á ṣàdúrà pé ẹni tí ó ṣe dáadáa nìkan lọ́ba yàn síbẹ̀ o kí a nífọkànbalẹ̀ bó ṣe wò ó rí á wà kí n pé àníyàn yín tẹ̀dà láti di gómìnà ní Ogun State Ọlọ́run kó bá yín múṣẹ o Ọlọ́run kó bá yín múṣẹ ìlérí yín tẹ̀dẹ̀ ṣe ta sọ fún yín bẹ̀rẹ̀ pé ó jẹ́ àmọ́nà nínú ẹ̀sìn Islam kí Ọlọ́run jẹ́ kẹ́ lè mú ìlérí yín ṣẹ kí ẹ bá lè bá ojú rere Ọlọ́run pàdé ẹ̀yin bàbá wa mú kí yín ìgbà tá à ń sọ lẹ́ẹ̀kan àwọn bàbá wa wọ́n wọlé jọ alákòóso ṣé kí
ma mention wọn sir
wa mention
ma introduce wọn properly sir.
èmi náà ní mention wọn àwọn èèyàn àwọn ará mi ló dé yẹn so promise pé wàá bá mi mention wọn dáadáa.
ẹ ti sọ wí kí n ṣe bẹ́ẹ̀ máa ṣe bẹ́ẹ̀ sir.
wàá bá mi ṣe dáadáa.
yes sir.
yes so mo kí ẹ kú oríire because ẹlòmíín náà fẹ́ wálé ní tí ò lè débí àwọn tá a jẹ́ ń retí náà Ọlọ́run kó sọ wọn dé ẹ̀yin tẹ́ ti wá náà your excellency Ọlọ́run kó bá aṣọ yín délé alájà mo kí yín o ó tójọ́ mẹ́ta Ọlọ́run bá yín ṣe o Ọlọ́run bá yín yanjú ẹ o àtúbà àtúnṣe fún wa ní Ogun State o subhana rabbika rabbil izzati amma yasifun wassalamu ala al-mursalina walhamdulillahi rabbil alamin.
Thank you, sir. Ètò tó kàn sí Your Excellency and the governorship candidate and the deputy governorship candidate. Afẹ́ ètò kàn nísìnyí ni pé ká fún wọn ní certificate of attendance pé a pè wọ́n wá. Mr. Chairman, sir, with due respect, I want you to please come here come and join my babas. While I use the time to introduce our father, Baba wa àgbà Ìmáàmù Akilẹ̀ Ìjẹ̀bú, wọ́n ti wà ń bí láti jẹta títí dànà. Wọ́n wá ní kí bàbá wa àgbà Imam Shilil Fai kí wọ́n wá represent àwọn lónìí. Bàbá ẹ sálámù sílẹ̀ sà. Bàbá wa mufti gbogbo Ogun State ni wọ́n ń kí wa yẹn. Ẹ jẹ́ ká dáhùn dáadáa o. Wa alaikum salam wa rahmatulahi ta'ala wa barakatuh. Ní kí brother Adisa, Bọ́lájí Adisa kí wọ́n bá mi lọ sọ́dọ̀ bàbá wa àgbà President General kí wọ́n bá wa mú certificate fún adíje dupò tó wà wájú wa lónìí. Kí sáà máa join wọ́n bẹ̀. Ẹ jẹ́ kí gbogbo wọn bàbá mi mẹ́tẹ̀ẹ̀ta tó wà níkàlẹ̀ kí wọ́n yọ ọ́nù fọ́tò yẹn. Imam Mashaye ẹ lọ síbẹ̀ kẹ́yìn náà bá a lè yọ. Bàbá wa Imam Hussein ẹ náà join wọn sá. ọmọ wa bá yín bẹ̀ ní sá, ọmọ wa bá yín bẹ̀ sá. Adíje dupò àti igbákejì ẹ̀ ni wọ́n fẹ́ wá gba ìwé yìí. Yes. No, that's my share. I should good photograph me. That's my good photograph me. Okay. Let's go. Thank you. Thank you. Ẹ jẹ́ ká lọ ya group photograph. Group photographs. Group photograph. Gbogbo àwọn tí wọ́n tẹ̀lé adíje dupò wa wá kí wọ́n wá dúró tí wọ́n láti ya fọ́tò pẹ̀lú àwọn bàbá wa. Ẹ wá ya photo. Group photograph now. Ẹ bá mi mú àwọn bàbá wa lọ síbi tó ti máa ya group photograph ẹ jọ. Our deputy governorship candidate Akin púpọ̀. Ẹ ṣeun. Ẹ kí bàbá wa president general kí wọ́n jókòó sáà kí wọ́n máa juwọ́ sí wa lọ́ọ̀kan. Ẹ kí bàbá jókòó ẹ jọ. Ẹ kí wọ́n jókòó. Ó yá sà, bàbá mi Imam Akilẹ̀ Rẹ́mọ, bàbá mi Imam Shile àti àwọn tí wọ́n bá bá díje dupò wa wá, àyè gba bí èèyàn márùn láti join wọn. Àwọn panelists wa kí wọ́n join wọn. Panelists please join. Panelists after this you join. After this join. After this one. Right. Thank you. Thank you. The panelists, please wait for the panelists to join you. Ìdúró mi fi àwọn bàbá mi ìdúró yẹn pọ̀ púpọ̀. Am I listening? You are leaving now. The panelists, please, quickly. Yes. Ẹ bá mi súnmọ́ yìí kí kámẹ́rà yẹn lè gbé yín. Ẹ bá mi súnmọ́ yìí díẹ̀ kí kámẹ́rà yẹn lè gbé yín sà bàbá. Bẹ́ẹ̀ni kí kámẹ́rà yẹn lè gbé yín. Kámẹ́rà yẹn. Naam, ẹ ṣé. All right. Okay. Okay. Adúpẹ́ púpọ̀. Kí Ọlọ́run bá wa ṣọ́ yín délé. Kó dẹ̀ ṣọ́ àwa náà. Kọ́ ló jẹ́ ká nípàdé ayọ̀. Thank you very much for coming. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you.